Vanessa Baxter is a passionate advocate for getting whānau cooking and enjoying meals together. She hosts a podcast called Food, Families and Friends, and she's also keen to introduce people to a variety of different cuisines. So she decided to combine all of this into a website, Kitchens Without Boundaries. On top of this, Vanessa's about to launch a new cookbook which focuses on nourishing relationships through kai. Kia ora hoa, nau mai hoki mai. So good to see you again.
So good to see you too.
Me taha, te puku mahi hoki e hoa. You are so busy, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit too busy sometimes, I think. Have to work out the life-work balance, but I'm happy.
He momo tāua ne, both of us are busy mums, so I know that whatever you have for us today will be easy, quick, me te aha, ka kore tino whakati weka i te kāuta, and it won't make too much mess, I'm sure.
It won't make too much mess. It's all in one pan. Funnily enough, I was inspired by opening my fridge and taking a look at my own leftovers. So the way I would love you to look at it is, what have you got? You know, if you don't have red cabbage, don't go out and buy it. What have you got in the fridge that you could pop in?
Ko wai te ingo tēnei kai, hunene katoa. What are we going to call this luscious dish?
Well, I guess, you know, it's a sausage and bean casserole from the past, really, but it's a gorgeous, hearty family meal that everyone will love.
Me taha, he tōwhiro hoki, and we have a little dessert going on over here.
We have a little dessert, and along the similar theme, it's a take on the old-fashioned fruit cobbler for one of those nights where you're really, really busy, but you'd love to be able to produce something sweet at the end of the evening.
Nā reira, hea te hātepe tuatahi. I know you're always really organised, that things are in the good steps, so what is the first thing we need to do?
Let's put the oven on, otherwise we won't be ready to put it in.
Ka tahi nā te whakaro. Fantastic idea, I'm on board. So we're putting the oven on to 150?
150. So if you've got a pot that you can utilise from the stovetop to the oven, that's ideal.
Aye.
If not, just start with a fry pan and sweat off the shallots and garlic and ginger in the fry pan and then transfer it in.
Kua rite katoa, so we've got those all ready. What are we going to do here?
So we're just going to sweat the onions off first. While they're sweating, we can prepare some of the other ingredients to add in. So just getting that started, then add the ginger and the garlic in because you don't want your garlic to burn. So I always like to start the onions first.
Right.
So just for taking your peel off, you just take the heel of your hand onto the back of your knife, being careful, and just push down.
Right.
And that will make it much easier to just take the peel off. But just grab a fork. And if you just put your thumb in the belly of the fork and push, and then ginger, I mean, I always have ginger flying around the house because I love my Asian cuisine and I'm always adding ginger to things. So you grab your spoon and just pull it and you can follow the ginger shape. Okay, so just leave it for a couple of minutes for the lovely aroma of the ginger and the garlic to permeate through the onion and let it soften a little bit, and then you can take it straight off the heat. So we'll do a little bit of this, and if you'd like to help me in the meantime, these sausages, we're just going to literally chop them up.
E rua ngā momo tō tine, so we've got two different types of sausages here.
So these are just your regular great pork sausages, and then I've thrown in some chorizo sausages. We're going to add these fantastic other flavours here. We've got our Worcestershire sauce, some mustard, tomatoes. You can always add in extra chilli. So it's all about just creating the flavours that are going to work for your family.
Ka pai.
So I'm going to pop the cabbage in that I've chopped, and we can throw your sausages in, Stacey. It's about 900 grams of sausages. This is perfect for a family of 4. Then we've got our beans, just a tin of butter beans, tin of tomatoes, a couple of tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, and a tablespoon of mustard. Just a lovely Dijon mustard will do.
Mama noiho, that's nice and easy. How te kai whakauru whakamutunga, and what's our last ingredient?
Last ingredient is beer.
What does the beer bring to it?
I don't know, there's something about the beer or the red wine with the meat, and it just gives it this gorgeous flavour at the end.
Te tāwara pai. Nā, whakangaro ati tēnā, better keep that beer away from you.
It's all in the pot. So now we just stir up the ingredients a little bit to merge them around so that they're not you know, piled up on top of each other.
And ko tike, and it's already done.
It's already done.
And into the oven. Love that.
Putting it in for about 3.5 to 4 hours.
Tukana waiho. Te tōwhiro, ne? So we're going to get straight on to the dessert.
Yep, we'll make some dessert. So the first thing we're actually going to do is just make some buttermilk. You just start by pouring some milk into a little bowl, and then we just need a little bit of lemon juice.
Kona noiho, is that all it is?
That is all it is, because you're just slightly curdling your milk. And we just literally let it sit there for a few minutes.
It was milk and now it's buttermilk. Engari kare he butter, but there's actually no butter in it.
Exactly. But we are using butter in our recipe. So now we're going to take our butter and we're just going to pinch it into our flour.
He tino pai ki ai te kaupapa o te pukapuka e hoa. I love what your book's about. It's about kai and relationships, really. And so taking it a little step further from just baking and cooking.
It's just lovely, everyday, home-cooked food. But yeah, the premise is that anyone in your family should be able to pick it up, and it's all about sharing food with family and friends.
Tino pai e hoa. And I would give you a high five if I didn't have my hands all full.
We're done. That looks awesome.
It does. So, hanga mea hei whakaurui nei nei. And so what are we going to put in there now?
So now we're just going to add in about 25 grams of porridge or rolled oats. Then we're going to add 50 grams of a soft brown sugar. Then I've got half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon here, and I love nutmeg, so I'm going to grate some fresh nutmeg in there as well. And then finally we'll add in 4 tablespoons of our fresh buttermilk. So you're just mixing it together so that it becomes like a manageable dough, and then we're going to tip it out onto our surface and just very gently pat it.
Hei taupoki ne, so we're making a little lid.
Yeah, but not a complete lid. So what I'm going to do is just press this out, and then you can either make little shapes or we can just use a knife to cut it. And I think it's advisable to just mix a tiny bit of corn flour through your fruit, because then any of the moisture that comes out of your fresh fruit or any of the extra juice from a tinned fruit will hold together with the corn flour, and it will still be lovely. Okay, now we can pile our fruit into the containers that we've got ready for our dessert.
Kotukana te huaraka ki roto, so we've got that fruit in there, little top.
So you've definitely got enough to do a large family.
Koe ri te mo te umu, so we've got these ready. So once the casserole's done, we can put these back in. Oh, yum.
Smells good, doesn't it?
Yeah, tino pai. Whew, ka pai tēnā, so I'm looking forward to that. And we just get this.
Yep, so I've already put the oven up to 200.
How are we going to serve this?
I'm just going to serve it with some lovely bread on the side and with a little bit of rosemary, so it just lifts it a little bit with some colour. So just to finish off, we'll drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil.
Ooh.
And we're ready to try it.
Tino mama te whakarede. It was so easy to make, and now it just looks like I need to get right on in there, so I'm going to.
It's a very kind of hearty family meal.
Aye, look at that texture. It's amazing. Look, more way under the waha. I'm dribbling. Yum. It's nice and rich and just wholesome, and
considering how easy it is to make, it's got lots of flavour, hasn't it?
Te reka hoki. So good. Ka rite te tōwhiro, and we're ready for our dessert.
Today I'm going to serve it with a dollop of mascarpone, but again, that's just because I love mascarpone and I often have it around, but you could just use a drizzle of cream on the side or even whip some cream. And then I've got some lovely edible flowers from the garden to put alongside.
Oh, e taukiri e, the big one's by me. Oh. Ka toha toha
We can share.
Shall we?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. It's sort of like a apple crumble, but it's got a little bit more substance to it.
It's family comfort food.
Ngā kai e rua nei e hoa, they were both just so easy to make and delicious. Tērā ki waha o tō whenua tā ngaingai, and as they say in your homeland, too easy.
Very easy.